Hi boys and girls, I'm Coach Milo and today we'll talk about something very, very important. Without doing this correctly, you will not be able to hit the ball crisp and pure, or maybe not even be able to hit the ball at all. You have probably seen most tour players have very different swing movements, but their posture is widely the same. It's much easier to change your stance than your swing. A good posture is the foundation for a solid ball striking. So I'll share now a great routine which doesn't consume too much time and can be practiced also at home in front of the mirror. So let's start with the first step. I like to keep something in front of my children's feet, either some balls or maybe two head covers. You can decide whatever is suitable for you once you practice on the driving range. Quite important is to start with your feet together in this case, because it will just help them to have a proper routine and not rushing for the first shot. So make sure your feet together and then make one step to the left and one step to the right. So this will automatically help them to have the right distance between the balls, so they're not standing too much either front or back, and have a straight target line later on once they're executing their shot. So once they have done this, they should have a slight bend of their knees, not too much, just a little bit, and their feet should always point forward. I don't want them to have too much open stance, because I often tell them, well, you look like a penguin. The other extreme I don't want to see is to have their feet crossed like this. So make sure more or less the feet are pointing forward. Then from this angle, I'll show you now, it will look something like this. Okay, so once they have done their routine, the second thing to focus on is definitely on the back, because the back is a very, very key point to make once they do their posture, and to have later on a very good not only swing rotation or to be able to swing properly, but also to prevent injuries for the future. So the best way to practice this is with a club, and you can do this in front of the mirror at home, or if you have the opportunity to practice some of the driving range, they also have their mirrors nowadays on the driving range. And then you're just placing your club behind your back until your back is as straight as it should be in this position. I know for adults this exercise is quite difficult because they don't have the flexibility as the children, but definitely should practice this as well. So once we have created a straight back, I don't want them to see too much slouch of the back, so something like this, so it creates a little bit more like a C curve in this case, or to do the other extreme and having a hollow back in this situation, so we have too much gap between the club and our back, which means it's an S curve. In both cases, definitely is not very helpful to execute our swing and to have a good rotation later on as well. Your back should be approximately in a 45-degree angle, but don't worry, it doesn't need to be that precise. A good drill I can give you to have a good posture and good bend of your upper back is to have a look for a wall, and then you will just stay about 1 foot away from the wall and keep your hands very relaxed hanging, and then bend forward until you touch the wall with your forehead. And as I said, keep your hands relaxed hanging and make sure you just want to be in a relaxed position and get your straight back. So the last step, we should focus now on the balance, because often I see children, once they have done their setup and have their back straight, they have too much weight on the heels, and once they start to make their backswing, they're nearly falling backwards like this, which is then not very good. Or I see them to have too much bend their knees, and it almost appears like they are sitting on the chair, which is also not very good for our shot. So in this situation, I want them to have the feeling to have a little bit more weight on their toes. So something like this. So always have a little bit more weight on the toes instead to have too much weight on their heels. This is much easier for them later on to execute their shot. So I'll show you now this routine and I will do the shot. So let's rehearse this very quickly. So make sure they start always with their feet together and then one step to the left and one step to the right. Make sure you have a straight back as well in this position, and then maybe do one practice routine and have a little bit more weight on the toes, and then we are ready to make our shot properly. As you can see, there are not tons of things to focus on before taking a shot. I know you are always very excited to smash the ball immediately and hitting through a bucket of balls in no time. But give yourself a couple of seconds more prior your shot and soon you will see magic to happen. So that's it for now. If you feel this information was useful for you, make sure to subscribe to my channel, leave a comment below and we'll see you definitely for my next one.